The next single that we're releasing, I got to work with someone else and got to write some I got to write some like vocals and melodies and stuff with someone else that's actually featuring on the song. So that was interesting.
Interesting. I mean, clearly not giving that away, otherwise you would have in that sentence. But
yeah, I almost did.
I'm going to try and get you to tease it out. What kind of musical world are we talking in terms of what this person does then?
They're probably like, this band is probably like one of the bands that got me into like pop punk alternative music.
Interesting. Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We're backstage at Glasgow's King Tut's venue today, and look who stopped by. It's the guys from Yours Truly. How are you guys?
We're good and we're cold.
Yeah, well, welcome to Scotland. Here you are. This is sort of the vibe right now. And welcome to the UK, I suppose, as well, considering you must have had much nicer weather over the last year or so.
Well, to be fair, when we landed here, it was really sunny, and everyone was like, wow, t-shirt weather. And I'm like, it's still cold, but the sun's out. So I understand like the concept of t-shirt weather, but it wasn't warm enough.
Yeah, it changed pretty quick to snow in a matter of days. But anyway, you get to see the UK again, which has got to be nice. And it's got to be nice to just generally, I've been saying it to everybody, back to live shows. I know you guys, you were able to do some stuff where you guys are based in the world, which is lovely, but being able to actually do full-scale tours again, that's got to feel like almost a luxury at this point, right?
It's nice just to be able to like tour internationally again and kind of feel like we kind of started it in 2019 and like kind of got taken away from us very quickly, like got taken away from everyone, but it's nice to be back and like doing that again. Yeah,
really exciting. And I was just saying with Half-Lives as well, what a stacked lineup this tour is. I mean, you guys must be delighted. It's such a clear, easy crossover between what you guys do and what ATC do. This must feel like kind of a perfect fit tour-wise, right?
I've loved Against the Current for years, so when we like got the offer to do this tour, I was like, really? Like, we get to do that? So yeah, and just being able to watch both bands every single night has been like amazing. And so many people at the show's been saying like, I can't believe I get to see all three of you guys in one night.
Yeah, really, really nice mix. It works very well. And an exciting time to talk to you guys in general, because we're sort of in the new era is kind of kicking off, guys. It's very exciting. Let's get into the single, of course, everyone's heard, which is Lights On. Immediately, kind of darker, heavier, little bit of a vibe from the last record. Tell me about when that one kind of came together and how it developed.
It came together, me and Mick like did a writing session together, and like, we had a couple of references, and we just tried something and it kind of stuck. There were things that went in and out, and took it to the studio, and it just came together really easily.
It was funny because Lights On was like, even though you say it's like kind of darker, you're like, let's write a pop song,
right?
Like, let's write like something that's really fun and dancey, and it is dancey, but like we were like influenced by Miley Cyrus and stuff like that, and then we ended up writing a song that kind of dark.
But in a good way. You can still totally hear that it's you guys, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that it feels like, even compared to the last record, just that little bit heavier, like a little bit more. Is that the kind of sounds you seem like you're playing with at the minute in terms of newer material?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. No, definitely. There's a lot of, I think Self-Care is that like pop punk kind of thing that we wanted to do for a long time. And now I think with like coming out of COVID and stuff, we're kind of where we want to go.
Yeah, it's exciting to see, for sure. I mean, let's mention Self-Care as well, because that's sort of the last time we kind of caught up was around the release of that, and clearly went down really, really well with the fan base. Lots of really, really fun moments on there. I wonder, what is the learning points from that record that's kind of what did you take away from that record and go, we want to do that better? That was perfect. Let's do that again. Any of those kind of things?
I think the main thing was that we needed and wanted to do a pop punk record. Like that was what we started this band to do. We got to do an album, and we set out to record an album like Self-Care, and we've done that now. We love it. I wouldn't change a thing about it. But I think the main thing now is every time you do a release, you do that release to the best of your ability. And now we're like, we're not going to do Self-Care again. Let's do something different now. And that's what this, these next songs are.
Yeah, just taking the opportunity to try and do new kind of stuff, I suppose. Yeah. And you say, it was you guys in the session. Have you been working with anyone else in this kind of downtime, figuring out the writing sessions?
Not so far. I mean, the past two songs that you guys have heard, we wrote with our producer Stevie Knight, who we also wrote all of Self-Care with. So it's funny that they sound different, but it's the same writers. But yeah, I mean, like, we want to collaborate with other people, like learn from other people. Actually, the next single that we're releasing, I got to work with someone else and got to write some I got to write some like vocals and melodies and stuff with someone else that's actually featuring on the song. So that was interesting.
Interesting. I mean, clearly not giving that away, otherwise you would have in that sentence. But
yeah, I almost did.
You know, I'm gonna try and get you to tease it out. What kind of musical world are we talking in terms of what this person does then?
They're probably like, this band is probably like one of the bands that got me into like pop punk alternative music.
Interesting. Actually, speaking of collaborations, one of the last times we heard you, Mikaila, was on that Between You and Me track as well, which is a really, really nice pairing and all that kind of stuff. How did that one come about too? Because that's, again, a really easy fit, I feel.
Well, Jake's one of my best friends.
Great.
So
there we go.
And I've heard that song in so many different stages. Like, I remember hearing it when it had a completely different chorus and me being like, that is your best song. That is my favorite Between You and Me song. Sounds like it should be in like Transformers movie or something like that. And then
that's a great shout. I like that's a good description.
I listened to it and I'm like, I can see like, you know, Transformers and like things burning in the background. And then he was like, that's interesting. And then when they recorded the song, they were like, do you want to sing on it? And I was like, yes, I would love to. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, very, very cool. That works very well for sure. And again, I mean, we joke here, you know, you don't want to give too much away, but I am going to press you a little bit. What's the plan moving forward? We got a couple more singles to come and all that kind of stuff, but then are we thinking album, all that kind of stuff? Is that the idea for the rest of the year?
I don't know. It's
we have a whole bunch of new songs that we're releasing this year, and then I guess it's not a whole album. I guess that's you know, I'll tell you that, but I think the whole idea for us was, you know, during COVID, we found ourselves quite creative, which I think that was either people either super creative during the time or, you know, found it really uninspiring. And in Australia, we had like 2 or 3 lockdowns depending on where you live. And like during that first one, we were quite creative. We wrote a lot. Second one, not so much, but we got a whole bunch of songs during the first one and we were just like, let's record them. Because why not?
No, absolutely. Why not? How did you find that process actually? Because again, it's interesting how, particularly over here and in the US, because that's the weird thing. The lockdowns were so different everywhere, even if it was in lockdown. So a lot of the US bands I speak to couldn't get anywhere near each other in a studio. Were you guys actually able to kind of write together during lockdown? How'd that work?
We got pretty lucky with like the first couple like lockdowns. Like the restrictions went kind of quickly, so we could like go into the studio and like do all that sort of things. But then second one comes around and we're like trying to figure out how to do like Zoom sessions and stuff.
Zoom sessions. How did you find that? Some people love them, some people hate them. There's no in between.
I didn't mind it. We got it working eventually.
There we go. That's the way of putting it. We got it working eventually. Yeah. All right, fair enough.
The end of it, and then it was like, you can go see each other now. I'm like, I never want to see zoom.com// ever again.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. 2 years in interviews and counting, but we're getting there. We're getting back to the real world a little bit. Guys, I'll let you go get ready for the show. But yeah, congrats on that new single. Looking forward to hearing what's going to come next and who it's going to be with. But yeah, enjoy the rest of this tour, man. Good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Great. Yours truly, everybody.